I'm Wendy.
I'm Steve, and this is Pippin.
And together we're the Happy Travellers.
What a week it's been. We're absolutely frazzled.
Yes.
It seems like a year ago when we were in Ripon.
Oh, and having such a lovely time. Oh, God.
Weren't we?
Yeah.
It was so nice in Ripon.
Yes.
You know, walking around the city.
It's absolutely, I rate it as one of the best towns, I really do, we've visited, yes.
Well, I called it a town a couple of times in the Ripon videos, and I was suitably admonished by somebody on the comments saying it's a city.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yes, it's a city,
and the cathedral is beautiful, but it's been so awful. It was last Saturday evening or night time when Pippin was very ill, and we had to leave Ripon pretty suddenly.
Yes, we did. Yes.
She was ill overnight. We got up in the morning and we sort of both generally agreed that we should make our way back to Sussex. Actually, we both thought she was about to die.
Yes.
That's how bad it was.
We didn't think
anyway.
we'd make it to Sussex, did we? And I'll be honest with you, I did want to get her back to the vet that we know.
Yeah. But she improved during the day.
By the time we got there.
Yeah. But we'll tell you, we've still got ongoing medical treatment happening. So we'll tell you in another video about how she's faring. She's still a bit quiet, but you know, we've got her under supervision. Why were we up that way? Well, the main reason was I needed to take the Bluetti power bank because for regular viewers, you will have seen me having all sorts of problems with the Bluetti and it not charging, reporting 100% charged. Luckily, it was still under warranty. It came with a 48-month warranty, and I think I was just over 2 years in, or just under 2 years in. So, took it back, dropped it back into Bluetti's warehouse, because I thought, you know, it's nearly 30 kilos. I think I would have packaged it and sent it by courier if I was living in a house and not travelling. But I think it was just easier to drive to Bolsover and take it back and drop it with them. Anyway, did that. Spoke to the guy at the warehouse. He said, it's 5 working days to fix it. So it must be a standard thing. Mm. So we agreed to that. And he said, oh, but it's Easter weekend. So, you know, we're not working Friday or Monday. So I said, well, probably Wednesday the 8th. He said, yeah, usually. He said, arrange it with sales, sales support people. So I phoned him. I was expected to hear back from sales on the Tuesday. Didn't hear. Contacted them again, emails back and forth, nothing. You know, that was the start of the support fiasco. So I eventually phoned up the warehouse again and spoke to the guy. He said, "Well, no, it's unserviceable." So he said the batteries have failed. Okay, all right. So I couldn't pick it up, obviously. And he said, "Haven't they contacted you?" I said, "No, it's just like, I was expecting to come and pick it up today." He said, "Oh, no." I said, "Well, so what will you do?" He said, "Oh, I don't know. It's up to them." Anyway, cut a long story short, because it's been a blooming nightmare dealing with Bluetti support, or lack of it. But to cut a long story short, we went round the loop a few times. They said, we'll offer you a replacement. The AC200 Max is, I think, discontinued. The closest that they wanted to offer was a Elite 200 version 2 or V2. The thing is, it doesn't have battery expansion capability. It seemed like a bit of an upgrade. So, and I wasn't worried about expansion. I would never buy expansion batteries anyway. They're almost the same price as a new unit. So I'd probably, if I wanted an expansion battery, I'd probably buy another full unit, so we'd have multiple units, it's a better way, I think. So I said yes, thinking, we'd be able to collect it. And I said, can I collect it from your warehouse? That was on the Friday. Then, of course, Pippin was ill on Sunday, and I had to email them and say, look, medical emergency, can't stay around, got to go to Sussex. And then it was like, oh, right, okay, well, then it all went silent until I got, you start stamping your feet, don't you, and sort of being a bit more insistent. Eventually they said, we're going to ship it and I'll send you the tracking number today. On and on and on, right through the week, with little or no contact from them, me complaining, phoning them up. So as I say, I could rattle on because I'm quite annoyed about it. But it's being delivered, to an address in Sussex on Monday between 11 and 3 by Royal Mail. So we're going to be at the address it's being delivered to. We're going to get that on Monday. So that's great news, I think. Really excited. It's a 2 kilowatt hour power bank. So we'll be doing a review on that, letting you know exactly what that's like. The next thing.
We were driving to the vets yesterday to see the vet again, and bang went something, didn't it?
I managed to get too, I don't know what it was, but I managed to get too close on the near side to something. I don't know. I couldn't actually see what I'd hit or what had hit us. Anyway, the door mirror, which already had a hole in it, that I'd sort of planned to patch up at some point. I've made a mental note to be much further away from things on the left in future, leaving a much bigger gap. But the mirror's toast. It didn't smash the mirror fell out, got all the plastics coming apart. Anyway, so I've taped it up. But the good news, I got a quote for it from Reliance to replace it, and that was like nearly £1,000, somewhere like that. And I immediately said, "Oh, I'm not doing that. I'll just patch it up and just deal with it and put some mirror protectors on." Don't ask me why I haven't got mirror protectors on. It's just lax behaviour on my part, isn't it? No, I've just not bought them. Stupid. It just so happened that a couple of weeks ago, I watched some videos because I sort of had in mind, well, I might try and get a second-hand one, from a breakage yard or something, and fit it myself. And I did some research on YouTube and found a guy from Motorhome Retrofits that was fully detailed demonstrating how to get the mirror off and replace it. And the thing is, they do super cheap replacements as well. I mean, they do, if you've not got an antenna, because they put the DAB and FM radio antennas in the wing mirrors. If you've not got them, you can buy one for like 130 quid. But if you want a fully sort of factory OEM, like it was a factory unit, they're £369. Loads cheaper. We decided to make a journey, didn't we?
To Poole.
Poole in Dorset from Sussex.
Yeah, that was it.
And when he said, "Oh, can't you just phone them?" And
yes, I said.
And I said, "Well, look, I think they might have them in stock. I don't know." And I'm thinking, well, it was just over an hour and a half drive, and I thought, "Oh, okay, well, we'll just drive there," because their phone lines aren't open till like 10:30, and then I expect they're busy, and it's like, oh. Anyway, so we drove to Poole,
which took much longer than an hour and a half if you've ever driven along that road.
It did. There was a few little traffic jams. It wasn't bad. It was a nice journey down into the New Forest.
But
lovely.
The New Forest was lovely when we got to there.
I don't have them in stock.
No.
So we've made like a 4-hour journey.
Oh, it was, and all that diesel we used, didn't we?
Oh, You know, which it all adds to the cost of it anyway. So I have ordered it from them, but he said, "Are you sure you want to fit it yourself?" And I said, "Well, I've watched your video. That's why I'm here." And he said, "Oh yeah." He said, "But," he said, "let me tell you that we charge £100 for fitting. Many of our customers have said what excellent value that is, given given what can go wrong." Anyway, so I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "But he said, "Well, they take 3 or 4 days to arrive, and we'll let you know." I paid a deposit, and he emailed me yesterday afternoon to say that he'd ordered it and he'd let me know when they're in and we can book in. I said, "Can you get me in when it arrives, can you fit me in?" He said, "Well, we're booked back to back." He said, "But I think it's about like a 45 or half an hour job. It doesn't take them long to do. So they probably allow an hour, or 45 minutes." So I said, "Okay, well, look, so for £469 from Motorhome Retrofits, we're going to have the new door mirror. When we go down, I'll ask if I can video and do stuff like that." So the other big pain is pet passport.
Yes, that's right.
There's videos about the pet passport appearing on YouTube right now, which it just makes me sort of annoyed that that they do this. We've got a Spanish pet passport. Pippin's registered on the microchip database as a Spanish dog. So you'd think a pet passport would apply to the dog, wouldn't you? Apparently it doesn't. The pet passport now, or apparently has always, had to have the owner main residence in the EU. I didn't know that. But from the 22nd of April, they're going to enforce it. So if you've got EU pet passport, they no longer work, or you won't be able to travel. If you pitch up, they'll ask you for proof of your residency in Europe. And it just isn't. No. So we're going to have to revert to the animal health certificate route, and we're going to Abbywell Vet at Folkestone. So,
Well, we're not going yet. Obviously not, and
Well, end of June.
If all being well with Pippin and everything. So we're just sort of playing it by ear, really, and living day to day with her. So seeing how we go.
I suppose if we can't go in June, I think we'll probably, because we paid for the outbound journey already, we'll probably move that journey to December if we can. I'm sure that they'll charge us for doing that.
Yeah.
So there you go. So no more pet passport loophole, they call it. Loophole. I mean, it's a pet passport. Pippin's registered in Spain on the chip database. She got a Spanish passport. She gets her vaccinations in Spain. It's annoying and a bit of bureaucratic nonsense because the UK is not in the EU. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I don't want to get into the whole Brexit thing, so it is what it is. Annoying, but there you are. But that's it for this week's video. I hope you've enjoyed our pain. It's been an awful week, isn't it?
But today, it's a lovely sunny day, and we're going to put Pippin in the pushchair and have a walk along the seafront. So, all good.
One extra thing before we go, because Pippin was not well, there was a bit of a problem with the bedding. She sleeps on our bed, not this week, but she normally sleeps on our bed. And it has happened before when we were in the carabus that she's had a bit of an accident. And once again, she was so ill, she couldn't move, and she was very She's vomited all over, the bed, and it was
all
like
sorts of things. We won't.
So, we had to buy a new duvet, and I'd said to Wendy in the past, what's the point in spending 15 quid to wash and dry it? You might as well just buy another one and throw them away. So Wendy looked at the cost of washing, the cost of buying, and while we were at Morrison's, because we used the Revolution at Morrison's, you went in, didn't you? What did you buy?
I bought a 10.5 all year round tog.
All year round?
Yeah, he said.
Well, generally, we're not very cold people. We tend to withstand the cold quite a bit. This duvet is fluffy beyond belief. It's like six inches thick. And it really, it's not heavy. It's quite light, but we get so hot in bed. It's just like,
I know.
Jesus, you can't have this on.
No,
You can't have it off. It's too cold to have no covers. It's too hot to have it on all the time. So,
I think our one, we got it from IKEA. I think it must have been 4.5.
It was that thick.
But it was, we had
it was
washed
really
it a
thin,
bit, hadn't we? So I don't know.
We'd washed it a few times,
Yeah.
which
I did like it, and because IKEA quilts, they wash and dry well. It don't go lumpy or anything. I really do recommend them, but we weren't near
the IKEA one.
Yeah, we weren't near one, so we just had to.
I suspect that if you ever wash that would go lumpy. We won't ever wash it.
No.
Not the duvet. We wash the covers, of course. Yeah. That's just a little aside.
Yes.
For the, a bonus for all you that are still watching. Thank you for still staying with us for this long.
Yes.
We're going to see you again in the next one.
Yeah.
And
we can talk about another washing machine disaster, and another we will.
We'll tell you about that.
Yes,
in the next
we won't
one.
now because we're gonna.
Anyway, thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye for now.
Bye bye, everyone.